Hello there, and welcome to another Monday live stream. My name is Shane Olson, and today we're going to be sculpting another Star Wars character. I had so much fun last week that I thought we could do it again. This time with, I can't remember the race of these guys, but it's like Admiral Akbar, you know, the It's a Trap guy. So I thought it was a really fun design. Same designer that did Watto from last week. So yeah, I thought we would try another one. It was a lot of fun. And right away, I'm going to scale this on up. Hey, Neil. Hey, Mark. How you guys doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay. So what is new for this week, you guys? Okay, I think I'm gonna make him in two parts, like this brain piece part, and the lower piece where the eye is and the nose and everything sit. So I'm gonna try and keep things separate for as long as possible, but I don't know how that's gonna go. We'll see. So, and it looks like there's like this his neck is going into just a little. I can't remember what his suit looks like, so we're gonna have to get another reference just to kind of see that. I don't know how far down I'm gonna go with the bust here, but I may go beyond this neck hole. It's like, what'd you call me? Okay, so and let's go ahead and grab a color off of here. Maybe this. Why not? Just start with that. All right. What was I gonna say? I can't remember. Okay, we're gonna start with the sphere, and this will be the cranium bit right here. I might split this off into two pieces and then a lower piece. So let's start off with that. Yeah, this is kind of for the 3D Character Workshop Challenge, even though I can't compete myself. Basically what we're doing for the 3D Character Workshop Challenge is we're doing a Star Wars challenge. You know, may the 4th be with you kind of a deal, but we're extending it all month long. Hello from Ukraine. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Now I should have put these in their own polygroups. That way I can select them. Someone was asking me the other day, how do you select individual polygroups? And all you have to do with that, man, my nose is itching. Somebody must be talking about me. What that means is, or how you do that is you have to have the gizmo showing, and then you just hold down Control and tap on the individual polygroup, and it will isolate, mask that selection. Pretty simple. Okay, so now that I have that, I just want to hold down Control and drag it down, and this will be the neck part. And this one is going to be the one that's most altered. Okay, and if you want the gizmo to go in the center of an object, you have to turn symmetry off momentarily and then hit this button that looks like a Google Map icon, and it will center it inside of the object and then turn symmetry back on. Hello from Italy. Welcome. Yes, thank you, Neil. I am actually running a spring sale on my entire suite of workshops. So if you use the code SPRING23, you will get 25% off anything in my store. So now is a great time to join us if you have been thinking about it. Why am I seeing so much Star Wars content? It's because of May the 4th is the quote-unquote official Star Wars holiday. But We make it last all month long. And if you're new here, welcome. Like I said earlier, my name's Shane Olson, and I stream a lot on this channel every Monday, or I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Neil, I think the last, has it been 4 or 5 years? It's been a while. Okay, I'm just going to kind of push that up. And push this up underneath it. I'm trying to get this swoop right here above the eye and have it make sense. And then behind the neck, it kind of swoops in really far. Okay, and then his mouth's going to kind of stick out here like this. It's already kind of coming together pretty quick. Okay. And for this one, I kind of want to bring it up a little bit higher. Got so many, like, got a little ear hole back there and a nostril up front. So many small orifices. I love how they designed this guy. They've essentially just hacked the head off a fish. Hey, Neil, would you mind posting a link to this over in the announcements on the Discord, please? So I have a private Discord channel. If you give access to 3D Character Workshop students, and it's a very, very active Discord, I'm happy to say, proud to say, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Okay, now this is, you know, it's kind of pinched back here, and it's flat on the back bottom side. I'm just going to push it up like this. And then I'm just going to pinch this back here using the pinch brush, but I'm going to turn down the intensity a bit. Just kind of hold down Alt so I can pull while pinching. And just make a little ledge back here. Something like that, maybe a little stronger. And smooth underneath it and above it. Thank you, Neil. Okay. I think I might do it one more time down lower as well. But I'm going to isolate mask it so I don't accidentally hit these two pieces, because the pinch brush likes to drag all geometry in. Oops, wrong brush. Wrong brush. There we go. So if I were to leave those unmasked, it would gather everything together. We all gathered here together. I think I got that too low. Let's go a little higher with it. There we go. Hey, what's up, Brad? Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Okay, that's kind of fun. Keep Gosling, hello. Okay. I think I need a little more volume in the forehead, like a goldfish. Yes, it's the species that Admiral Akbar is, but I don't know if it's officially him or not, but We can call it that, sure. Where can I find a link to your Discord? Well, it's not public, it's private. So if you're a student, you can find a link to the Discord inside of the course. Okay, let's see here. So many little bits. Okay. I think I might... This is interesting. I don't know. Okay, I see what's going on. There's a smiley. You just joined the character workshop. Awesome, Amir. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, you can find it. So if you go into the course, off to the right-hand side on your dashboard, it says go to the community, and that's where it is. Okay. I'm pretty proud of the community. It's a Discord channel. It looks like this. And you can see it's got these forums, work in progress, monthly challenges, Q&A. So this blue section is what you get access to mostly. And then there's Hangout, Tech Help, Sculpt Rooms. We have live Sculpt Rooms where people hang out and sculpt. It's a lot of fun. So anyway, that's what the Discord server looks like. Okay, so let's get, I'm trying to decide how I want to do this. Okay, I think I'm going to make an upper lip separate shape here. When I block out my characters, I block them out with the intention of helping myself, right? I don't want to put too many shapes in there if I don't need them. But if they're going to help me out, then I'll put them in there. So like this will be the upper lip. It'll go behind the nostril. And I'll just kind of drag it. I'm going to be running out of geometry here because I'm spreading it out too thin. Looks like a tongue right now. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to flood fill this whole thing with tessellation geometry. Okay, it's almost like it's sort of a voxel remesh a little bit, but not. It's like flood filling it with dynamic topology. You can think of it that way. And I put it up here on my user interface, and it'll do something like this. Okay, and it'll just give me more geometry where I need it. It will flood fill it, so it's kind of giving me unnecessary geometry. If I didn't want to do that, what I could do is turn on Sculptress Pro right here, and then I could adjust the density right here of the brush, and then just kind of go over it. Hey, what's up, James? Welcome. And I can turn on topological. Well, I can turn on topological on my smooth brush, and it will only, let's see. Oh, I guess topological does not work with Sculptress Pro. Okay. So forget it. Maybe I gotta hide it. There we go. So if I hide it, that works. Republic of Moldova. Welcome, Mandy. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Wow, we have folks from all over the world here today. That's crazy. The internet is crazy. I still cannot get that's even possible. I mean, I'm like a child of the 80s, before the internet days. You know, when I felt like you know, I was raised in a very small town, and the only people I knew pretty much were the people in that small town. Sounds like a John Cougar Mellencamp song. But yeah, so just to think that I have access to people from around the world watching me sculpt just blows my mind every time. Every time. You can invert mask that and flood fill it. Oh, you're saying the Tessellate works? Dude, James, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I don't know what's going to happen with that, and it's exciting and scary at the same time, you know? Exciting for things like medicine and, you know, what, just design, engineering and things like that, like helpful, coming up with things that a human most likely wouldn't have thought of or come up with, you know? But then it's like, as far as the art goes, I don't know what to think about that. SpongeBob, yes, I am in Utah. Okay. This is kind of fun. Sometimes like laying, it's literally like taking a piece of clay, cutting it, and just laying it on the surface like this. So now I want to put make his bottom lip. And for that, what I want to do, I want to use a tube, but maybe I'll just use, I'll do the same thing and just stretch out a cylinder. Or maybe no, yeah, I'll just stretch out a sphere. I always do that over and over again. Just easiest. And I can just shape it the way I want it as I go. Okay. Oops. Move. Yeah, where is Moldova? Excuse my ignorance. Let's see, here we go. Need to get some music going. I'm listening to nothing again. I always do that. You love watching me fix warbles? Thanks, Jace. Welcome to the stream, by the way. What do I want to listen to? Let's listen to some BT today. If you guys don't know who BT is, I suggest it's really good to listen to while you're working. There's a band called, or an album called Movement in Still Life. This one right here by BT. And I love listening to that while I sculpt. It's really good. Okay. He came in concert, not like, I think a year or two ago, and he came with Howard Jones, and I missed it. Just kicked myself because I missed it. Darn it. Okay, just gonna Sculptors Pro this. Okay. I accidentally kept those in the same poly group. I'm just gonna hit auto groups to get it in new groups again. That way I can grab this. And let's inflate it a little bit. Up SM64. I think I've heard of that one before. Sound font remixes. I'm always looking for new tunes to sculpt to. I also like sculpting to movie soundtracks. And certain video game soundtracks like Mass Effect will do it. Just something with not a lot of words, so I can kind of focus. I like this guy. Sure crap. Had to say it. Okay. I'll just leave it like this. It's a mood. Nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna split. These eyes are trippy because it doesn't look like a whole sphere could fit in there, but I want it to, so I'm gonna see if I can make it. And then just kind of work that eye cavity thing around it somehow. Hans Zimmer, there you go. That's who I listen to the most, honestly. So epic. So here's a little trick. I don't know if it's a trick, but see this little orange dot over here? That's telling me the opposite symmetry center point. So if you ever want to move your gizmo to the opposite side, all you need to do is hover over that point right there. Watch when I go across it. Bonk. The gizmo pops over there. And now I have an orange dot on this side. So if I want to go bonk. And sometimes that gets in the way because if I turn the camera, so you watch this dot right here. If I turn the camera like this, you can see it. You can still see that orange dot in there. And sometimes the orange dot is like behind your move tool. So if I go to try to move this, it'll go bonk and it'll move the gizmo over there. So it could be frustrating. So watch for that when you're moving your camera around. Okay, I'm going to split this eye off to its own subtool and turn on dynamic subdivisions. And we'll grab this yellow color so we know what we're dealing with. It looks like I didn't fill the other one. So fill this, grab this color again, fill this. There we go. So I got a full body stylized sculpt assignment for my college. What model should I take as a beginner? What I would just pick a character that you feel like suits your skill level. That will still meet the requirements of the course, I guess. Okay. I better save this. Save as. I'm going to save this as it's a trap 01. Gizmo trick is amazing. I always get frustrated because, yeah, you're welcome. You are welcome. Okay. Maybe for a first character, try something simple like Kirby, Hello Kitty. You know, yeah, those are good, but I don't know if they'll fulfill the requirements of his course, and I don't know what his skill level is. I'm assuming it's a he. So yeah, so when I do my course, I start out, like my very first module, I talk about sculpting cartoon characters. And yeah, like, yeah, Looney Tunes, any cartoon characters like that, but they're kind of deceivingly complex sometimes, so you have to be careful. Like Kirby is simple. I mean, he's just a sphere, right? But he's a bit more complex than you would think because of all the measurements and things like that. Okay, let's see. I want to pull this out more. This looks funny. Okay, I think I'm going to separate. Well, I can just use pizza boxes. Okay. that. Maybe even more. For the hilarity of it. Turn it forward a little bit more. So he's kind of a forward-looking fish. Hey, what's up, Ian? How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Okay. Let's Sculpting Pro this. Smooth it on out. And I kind of want to pull this head bit in more, because you can see that all this stuff behind his eye there. Eye stalks. Yeah, I need to take a look. That's what I was kind of remembering. That's what I was riffing off of. Zoidberg. Yeah. I think he was made like with the same idea in mind, right? Futurama is my son's favorite show. I'm going to pull this up a little bit more. Downloaded your custom UI, but the custom menu is not included. No, it comes with it. You just have to assign it. So you should see it. Let me turn off my overlay. Okay, you should see the menu right up here. 3D Character Workshop. That's the custom menu right there. It comes with it. So you just have to assign it to a hotkey. And if you look at the instructions or watch the video on how to install it, I show you how to create that hotkey and how to access that menu. You see the 3D Zoidberg? I did not. Also, just to throw this out there, I am having a spring sale on all of my workshops right now. So if you go over to 3dcharacterworkshop.com and you use code SPRING23 and checkout, it'll give you 25% off. And I teach you how to make characters like this, but full characters. Okay. It's been a while since I ran a sale. How long have I been doing ZBrush? About, I don't know, I want to say 7 years. Maybe. Okay, then this little piece. See, it just did it. It just hopped over there. Bonk, bonk. It's kind of annoying sometimes. Like, stop it. Don't do that. Okay, and I'm gonna get this little smile. Come on. Sometimes you're, so the hotkey for the brush size is S. And sometimes that little slider gets stuck. Like in space somewhere. Stuck in space. It's kind of a weird place for the little smile, but I think I can make it work. Hey Kev, welcome to the stream. All is well, thanks. Okay. Kind of pull this forward. Pinata baseball skin. Oh, thank you. I wish I had time to do more of those. That was a lot of fun. Question on ZBrush's subscription updates. Has ZBrush added any milestone additions since its shift to a subscription model? Gibby, I don't work for Maxon. I'm just a volunteer here. So I'm just kind of showing off the program, not really an employee of any sort. So yeah, I don't know all of the ins and outs of the subscriptions and all that. Or the milestones or things like that. I only know what I use. But they've been coming out with updates. When was the last one, Neil? Can't remember. Just gonna kind of make this ring. Is there a way to pick selection brushes without holding the shift key like Photoshop or Maya? Pick selection? So shift is smooth. You don't really select objects in here like you would in Photoshop or Maya. It doesn't really work that way. Oh, the end of March. Okay, so the last ZBrush update was the end of March with 2023.1. Thanks, Neil. So typically in ZBrush, you work with masking. See how all this stuff is masked off and I'm only working on this piece? Or you split it off into subtools, and that's how you... So I only have two subtools. I have this head, and then I have these eyeballs. Those are the only two objects I have in the scene. And all of these separate objects you see here, all these different pieces, these are all within one subtool. You mean without control? Oh, control shift, like to hide pieces like this? Control shift will also like box select like that, or if you have lasso selected down here, see this lasso selection, you can lasso select like this, or lasso deselect like that. That's the only way to really add and subtract from your selection. So you hide it, and then you drag on the background to show all, or to invert it, and then just click on the background to show everything. Yeah, I don't know of a way to change that selection method. Yeah, there's this box, there's this one. There's also, if you hit BS, there's, yeah, these are the only two. Select lasso, select rectangle. And then you get into the slicing and stuff like that. So it doesn't really work like Maya in Photoshop where you can just select layers or select objects. It's more of a hide show thing. Okay. Yeah, B, like B for brush, and then S will slim down all the brushes that start with S. But yeah, BS. This is a bunch of BS brushes. Okay, I'm just kind of building this back up around the eyes so they can be eye stalks, and then I'll use the detailed brush to cut in around them. How much time it takes you to make a full character model? It depends on the detail of the character. Like I did that Zenyatta skin for Overwatch, and that took me months. The characters I did for Disney Infinity, they would typically, there's a hole here. I'm gonna just go close holes on that. Okay, what is going on there? These look like ears, like weird ears. Inverse mask and inverse selection. Why not both the same? Okay, hold on a second. See, since this one has a hole and this one doesn't, I'm just going to mirror it across and fix it. Okay, so mirror and weld, and that just mirror and welded it all together. Let's see. Inverse mask and inverse selection. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Again, I don't work for Maxon, so I can't tell you the reasoning behind it. But like this, I'm holding down Shift Control, and that's inverse hidden like that. Or I can hold down, like I can tap on here, and yeah, I don't know why, because it's a click instead of a drag. I don't know why they're not the same. I just get used to it. I don't know. Yeah, usually close holes will fix it. See this close holes right here, which you can find under Tool, Geometry, Close Holes. Okay. I really want to see these two little lines, like these little lumpies in there. I want to get those, but I think I have to pull the eye stalks out even more. One Disney character. So, no, Disney Infinity took, I want to say 4 to 6 weeks per character. Like finished in-game toy character. Okay. Oops. Hello from Russia. Hi, welcome. Some of the film characters, like the main film character, they will take months and months and months to make because of this scrutinizing. So yeah, Zenyatta, I think Ian, you were asking, Zenyatta had pages and pages and pages of feedback, but it was mostly on like creasing and textures and things like that. So it's just quality control to make sure the character looks like it fits in the game, matches everything else. Careful, Gimpy. Try and be nice. The complete character. The sculpting would take like a week and a half or so, but then you get all the feedback and all that, you know. Oh, took it too far. You guys introduced the Infinity style and it was amazing. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was back in right, it was back in the 80s when there was less. It was actually a Russian comedian. Can't remember his name. Funny. But you know, just trying to keep things good. Takes too much time to do this character. How many polygons does it have? I never. Oh, Neil, that's the one. Yakov Smirnov. Yep. I'm a computer science teacher. Wow. I don't pay attention to polygons because I'm sculpting this. I mean, if you look at the surface, it's garbage. It's not meant for deformation. It's not meant for games or film or anything. If anything, it's meant for 3D printing. If you see these characters behind me, my cowboy is in pieces because I was showing it to someone. But for 3D printing, you don't need to pay attention too much to poly counts. And when I'm making the high resolution character, I don't pay too much attention to the poly counts as well. Best school or person to learn characters, I would say me. I have a 3D character workshop. It's online workshop, and I'm actually having a sale going on right now, a spring sale, which you can use the code SPRING23 to get 25% off anything in the store. How do you think about overlapping in 3D modeling? What, I don't understand the question. Gimpy, I have 4 of them. I have a problem. Twister revealed the Cowboy is attacked by... Yeah, something. Infinity Team, I only know Redbeard. Yeah, that's Matt Thorup. There's also Ian Jacobs and Brian Allen and Brad Bolender. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit... yeah, Neil, would you mind? Can you post a link in YouTube? It's this right here. See this? It's 3dcharacterworkshop.com. So right here. We can't post a link in YouTube. Sorry. 3dcharacterworkshop.com. All right, let's go a little bit more dense. There you go. If you were to do it for games, let's say, how would you keep the character in line? Like, would you say Dynamesh, then ZBrush to clean up, then work in sub D from there? No, I would take it outside of ZBrush, and I would do, I would retopologize it in a different program, like Maya, and then I would bake the maps from the high resolution character to the low resolution, get normal maps, get ambient occlusion maps, roughness maps, and texture it in Substance Painter. Yeah, it's quite the process, all of which I do go over in my course. So if you're looking to learn how to do that stuff. There we go. Need some nostrils, huh? How can he breathe? Okay, so for the high poly though, it's irrelevant since you have to retop later. Yes. Yep. Does map affect light? Yes, it can. Yeah, Gimpy, since here's the deal, since this is Maxon's official channel, I tend to just focus on Maxon products and not talk about or try to mention other products. So I just, yeah. Yes, I have. YouTube won't even post with a .com. Oh, crazy. I see one of your modules in the 3D Character Workshop includes blockout training. What does that entail? So this is exactly what I'm doing right now, is I'm blocking out a character. So you can see, like, these are all different parts and pieces, and they're all primitive shapes that I've warped into a character. So basically, yeah, that's what I teach in the first module, is how to block out characters. How much maps can give depth, or will they lose? I don't understand the question. They're usually just on the surface. YouTube does allow links. You just have to be the stream host. So I'm not the stream host. Again, I'm just a volunteer here. Okay. These nostrils are really interesting shaped. Exists a function in ZBrush that if I apply one mesh to another surface, it will take the shape of that mesh. Something like shrink wrap. Yes, it's called project all. And it will project either paint or sculpt or both. Shane, what's the main thing you need to show the recruiters to get a character art job? Or like what would be an optimal portfolio to maximize your success without industry experience? So, your portfolio needs to show them that you can do the job that they need you to do. That's the whole point of a portfolio. So if they're a game company, you need to show them a game character. And you need to show them that you can do UVs, texture mapping, retopology, all of those things. And your character needs to look nice. And so you can hop in and get to work with the least amount of training. So basically, that's what you need to show them. And then same thing with collectibles. If you're wanting to get into collectibles and toys, you need to show them your portfolio and show them that you can make collectibles and toys. So yeah, and if you're applying at a stylized character company, like let's say Blizzard, for example, and you're applying for the Overwatch team or the World of Warcraft team, you have to have characters in your portfolio that semi-resemble, not fan art, but semi-sort of resemble the characters that they make, just so you know that, or they can see that you can do the work. Same with hard surface modeling. If you're applying to a company that does hard surface modeling, you need to show them that you know how to do it, right? That's the whole thing. You just need to show in your portfolio that you can do the job that they want you to do. That's the whole point. Hope that. Do people still hire hard surface modeler? I think so. I don't know. I've never really done too much hard surface modeling. I'm a character artist. I do some hard surface stuff with my characters, like guns and swords and things, but I don't just, that's not where my specialty is. But yeah, there's so many opportunities out there for modelers of any kind. There's prop modelers and car modelers, all sorts. Okay. Nostrils. Do you find you have a preference for creating shapes like these by blocking out with clumps as you're doing now versus going off a sphere? I don't typically dynamesh my way up from a sphere. That's not my way of working. The advent of AI, you got to be well versed in more fields. Yeah. Okay. Totech, want to drop by and say thanks, Shane, for inspiring me for sculpting. You're welcome. It's been quite many years now, and I'm getting pretty good. Awesome. That's wonderful to hear. Thanks for dropping by and saying kind words. Okay, these are very, very far apart. Go over here. We heard of nothing forever. That looks like a thick Tom and Jerry stick. It totally does. It totally does. Yeah, I don't really want to bring AI into the conversation right now. Sorry, because I'm very opinionated on it, and yeah, I'm not going to talk about it right now. Yep, you're welcome. Thanks for hanging out. I stream every Monday, so you can catch me again next Monday. That's all I can see now. Tom and Jerry steak. Thanks. It's funny. Okay. Side to kind of come out, and this side to go in and sort of touch. See where it's touching that upper lip there? And then the nostril is kind of shaped like an upside down teardrop. So with that, I can just use a mask. Casey, I'm never give up. I'm still holding on. Star Wars month. Okay, I'm just going to flip this mask and move brush. Hey, for 3D printing, do you have to Dynamesh everything, or can parts just be joined so long as no gaps? Yes, that. Assuming you're making a model with no keyed parts. I use Remesh by Union now because it doesn't rebuild your mesh. It only stitches parts together and gets rid of interior mesh pieces. So I would suggest Remesh by Union rather than Dynamesh. And then you can just decimate it from there. You don't have to do anything else. Just reduce the resolution of it. You don't even have to use Dynamesh at all. Remesh by Union is a fabulous thing. And I'll be using it here when I go to stitch these parts together. What would you say would be easier from it? Excuse me. Oh, gosh. Would you say would be easier from a technical point of view, game characters or film characters? Like the way I see it, film characters are more straightforward. Not necessarily. They're different approaches to the same thing. So with game characters, you have to push them through a game engine. So they have to be light and responsive. It's getting, the processors of game consoles and PCs are getting stronger and stronger, so you have to worry about that less. And with, Unreal Engine, you have to worry about that less. But it's still a factor, and you still need to kind of cheat things. Like, you still use normal maps. And you have to retopologize your mesh to be pretty nice. But with film, it's the end portion of film is a render. So what you're trying to do is get the best render you can, and typically it's a subdivided mesh, right? So you want to retopologize all in quads, and then there are careers for people that do the texturing and surfacing for characters and the hair and stuff like that, and they're called look dev people, and that's just a single job. So the modeler will hand the character off to the look dev person, and they'll go through and texture everything and put hair on it. So yeah, it's a totally different approach. And with film, you use UDIMs, which are a whole bunch of very large UV maps across the board. And with games, it's typically like one 4K map for the entire character, or a few more. Depending on if that character has a weapon or something like that, the weapon would have its own map. So it's just a different approach. but the high-res character is exactly the same. Like I could turn this into a film character, television character, game character, or 3D printed character. It doesn't matter. The high-res is the same. It's just what do you do with it after that is what changes. Like in the case of Disney Infinity, we use the high resolution character to create both the in-game character and the game character. Olympics? I don't know what that is. What's up, Chuck? Welcome. With your style of sculpture, what can we go for production or printing? Because as far as I know, don't go for Dynamesh. Hey Tattoon. So I don't understand that question too well. With your styles, what can we go for? Production or printing? I don't really understand. Maybe rephrase that a little bit, Tattoon. Or if somebody can help me out. Just want to set this eye in this stock a little bit more. I'm just running this detail brush just to the inside of the eye to push the socket down in so it looks like the eyeball is seated, not seated. And then you can see it has an upper eyelid right here and a little hint of a lower eyelid. It's getting a little tricky right here. It's getting quite thin right there. Okay. It's all right. And then here, fade that out. What type of work can you get using your skill? Is that what you're asking, Tattoon? What type of work can you get? Like what can you do as a job? Or are you asking about the production process? Like the pipeline? Okay, on this bottom one. Greetings from Argentina. How much time does it take you to make this character? Well, I've been going for an hour now, and I live streamed for 2 hours. I'm hoping that I'll get close to being done in 2 hours. At least with the high res, of course. Olympic is a new way to send scenes from one program to another. For example, if you work in Blender and you want some dynamics from... Oh, it's kind of like an FBX sort of thing. Like a file format. Justin, welcome. Hey from Malaysia. Yeah, Tattoon, can you tell me if you're talking about the process or the job? But it's better. Yeah, it's better in the FBX. Okay. They said yes to your phrasing. Right. I'm trying to understand. What type of work can you get? So, like, can you get, or what type of work can you do? I'm rushing a mascot sculpt for a friend. Nice. So what type of work? So I mean, you can, like I said, you can get work doing, well, there are so many different things you can do. I've done so many different freelance jobs that like I've made a wedding cake topper, like some chibi people. That was one one job I did a long time ago. I made some collectibles in the rock industry for um like I I made I made some Slayer figures, like Slayer the rock band Slayer. Like I made some characters for Slayer for some collectibles. Um you can do 3D printing, you can do like work in television, film, commercials, you can do web stuff, you can sell STLs. There's, you know, the D&D miniatures, you can get into that industry. You can get into big art stuff. I don't understand. I think some confusion is coming because you don't use Dynamesh, so they think maybe you can't make printables without that. Oh, is that what you're saying, Tetsun? So since I don't use Dynamesh, I I still I 3D print all these characters without using Dynamesh. You made that cute girl Vanellope. I did not make that one. That was done by Brad Bolender. You make Big Macs look delicious. There you go. How'd you get that kind of jobs? No, not just word of mouth. I know people. People know me. That kind of thing. Networking. I mainly network by going to conferences, meeting people that way. Like the ZBrush Summit that's coming up soon, September, I think. Not very soon. I've met a lot of people at ZBrush Summit, met a lot of people at CTN, Lightbox. There's a lot of developer conferences, Game Developers Conference, Comic-Con. There's so many. What was my first industry job? I worked at a company called Sapphire back in the day. They were just a little tiny game studio here in Utah. And they made the thing they're most famous for is the expansion to StarCraft called Brood Wars. They made that. I worked on my first game was Xena Warrior Princess fighting game. That was fun. Okay, so I want to merge these two together, and then I'm gonna merge these two. So when it comes to the merge phase, like the stitching phase, you don't need to stitch everything together all at once. Not a show, everything together all at once. I'm gonna shrink these down, turn them a little bit, push them back. Sometimes when I'm talking, I get distracted and I'm not looking at my measurements well enough. So I make things too big or too small. Okay, so I'm gonna stitch this lower lip to this bottom piece just so I can blend out this area. Yeah, it was a fighting game for the Nintendo 64. Xena. It was a lot of fun. So back in the day, I'm gonna sound old. Back in the day, I did when I worked on that game, I was just a game artist, is what they called it. I wasn't a character artist. I was a game artist. And that meant that we were responsible for the arena that they fought in. We were responsible for the character, the animations, the rigging, and the move set. Like like I was put in charge of like 4 or 5 different characters, and I had to build the whole thing, like the everything, texture. Yeah, Bruce Campbell was in it. Yep. I see people selling licensed stuff. 3D print on Etsy. Is there a workaround or something for that, or is that plain? That's risk. Yep, that's copyright infringement for sure, 100%. Yeah, lighting too. We'd have to do lighting, animation, rigging, the whole thing. And we did it in 3D Studio Max. Daniel, so how I got that job is I knew the producer. So I worked at Acclaim for a while, and I worked on a game called HBO Boxing. And he was the producer on HBO Boxing, and I was responsible for doing a bunch of boxers and their likenesses. And he remembered that, or he liked the way that I could hit a likeness on the boxers' faces. So he was doing everything overseas by hand, like getting it done by hand, and he wanted to try out somebody doing it digitally. So he reached out to me and asked me if I could do it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll show you. Here we go. It's called Knuckle Bones. Oh my gosh. All right. Here you go. So this rock icons, like I did the chains and the guitar and the tattoos and this bass right here with the Slayer logo on it, his boots, yeah, all of that stuff. Did the whole thing, and I did him, and man, that tattoo on the back of his head was hard to do. Yeah. Then another, I think, I'm trying to remember which of the other band members. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Bone Easy. This one. And this one. So all 3 of these. There you go. There's a good picture of all 3 of them, maybe. I did a ghost too. Never saw the light of day. Gosh dang it. I want to see this picture big. I don't know where where it is. Okay. Before I get into trouble with this. Show me a big picture. Nope, it's not going to show me. Anyway, I did those 3 from the band Slayer. That was fun. Yeah, did they give me free concert ticket? No. I did a Pink Floyd thing with him, and yeah, just a few other things. Not really. He could get it a lot cheaper overseas, so. Okay. I'm a 3D sculptor at a Mexican stop motion studio. Awesome. I want to get those kind of jobs and collectibles too. I'm also very passionate about music. That's why I've always wanted to work in that business. Nice. Okay, so what I want to do is isolate this piece and the lips, and then do a split hidden. So now these 2 pieces are together, and I want to merge them together. Actually, well, I kind of want to merge this upper lip too. Do I? I'll leave it separate for now. It's fine. Okay. Just so you can see what I'm merging, it's this. And basically what you do is you get the gizmo and you center it. So turn off symmetry for a moment, click this button, and then get your gizmo nice and centered in there. Turn symmetry back on, click on this gear and go to remesh by union. What that does is it stitches it together. So if you zoom in, you can see it's all stitched right down the edge right there on both sides. And it gets rid of the interior geometry, which is exactly what you want for 3D printing. Now if I click on this and hit accept, then turn symmetry back on. Now, if you ever get to a point, sometimes when you're using Sculptris Pro, you will get too dense of a mesh. It'll just be too heavy, and your machine may stall, and you might have areas that are big like this that are stretched and weird. If you ever want to clean this up, all you have to do is decimate it. So if you open this up and you go to Decimation Master, it's under the Z plugins menu up here, but I have it mounted in this shelf off to the left. And basically, I'll just pick one of these numbers right here. So maybe like 75K, and it'll go through and crunch through. Hey, what's up, Leonard? And it will pre-process it, and then it'll decimate it. So you can kind of see it's starting to decimate it now. It's all done, it looks like. So I'm going to try and take it lower. Let's go to 20,000. There we go. Okay. Okay. So this, I basically decimated it just like you would do for 3D printing. Okay. So now it essentially, if I look at it like this, it essentially looks exactly the same. You wouldn't know that it's been decimated. Right? It does lose, well, because I didn't click on use and keep poly paint, but you can turn that on and keep the poly paint, but I'm just going to fill it with poly paint again. And now we're back in action. We can turn solo off and hide this decimation and continue sculpting. For amateurs, for me, and maybe for others who are in your class learning, professionals like working with games, game characters, or rock stars. Thanks, man. My wife thinks I'm crazy that I get so excited by the industry and the people like you who do this work. Thanks, Chuck. Yeah, it's crazy where my career has taken me. Like I couldn't, like 20 years ago, I would never be able to tell you where I would have ended up. Am I going to the Annecy Festival? I don't think I've ever heard of that one. I always struggle with the gizmo when using IMM brushes. It's just hard to add the primitives exactly where I want to. Like what part do you struggle with? He did it by hand, solo. Nice. Okay, so like now that this is all decimated and merged together, I'm still using Sculptris Pro, so I can still come in here and smooth it out. But now that it's lower, I can increase the size. Maybe get closer to what it was. So see, now I can smooth it on out and blend this bottom lip in to the rest. But I want to keep this seam underneath like that. There are different styles, like starting from a Z-sphere or starting from polysphere. I followed that style at Nomen, but I have seen you start your blocking the character shapes first. Yes, that's what I do. I tried your work style and it's really felt amazing. So my question is, what is the best way for further work? Can I go for a character movie game? Yes, absolutely. Yep. So some folks like Andre Fuerda, I think is how you say his name. He's another sculptor on here. He's also a student of mine, and he does mostly realistic characters, but he still blocks out his characters using my primitive blockout method. He just takes it to ultra realism instead of stylized. And there's blocking out characters is blocking out characters. It's just putting in the shapes. I think people get too hung up on the fact that it's digital. If you think about it like clay, how would you do it with clay? You would just roll up balls and stick it together, right? Or you would roll the clay out on a table, cut it up, and just lay it on top of the surfaces. You really wouldn't build it up like you do using the clay buildup brush. That's not really a thing in real clay. So I kind of approach it with more of a traditional rolling up balls of clay and sticking them together kind of an idea, right? So, or do you have to do retopology? Okay. So if you're taking your character to be in a film or game or television, then you have to retopologize it. And that's just in order to make it deform properly. Or get the resolution low enough that a game engine could handle it. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, you'll still have to do that kind of work. Bucka Bros, yep. I don't know how many times I've said that today while sculpting this guy. It's a trap. Okay. Just wanted to cut this brow in deeper. And then I can pinch this so it's just cleaner. Okay, and inflate it back here. That feels better. And somebody asked me a question. Ever saw the the Star Wars Christmas special? Yes. A long time ago. I just saw it once. That's all I need to see it. Okay. I think I actually watched it live when it aired the first time. That's how old I am. Okay. Let's grab this piece. I'm going to save this just in case. It's a trap 2. How do you work with hair normally? Do you sculpt it? It depends on the character. Like I've worked in games for a long time. I've done hair cards before, but I prefer to sculpt hair because I can 3D print it. Like all these characters behind me, they all have sculpted, stylized hair because I can 3D print them. Yeah, Leonard. Oh, I agree with you 100% there. Leonard, I missed your Star Wars bit. I need to go back and watch it. So you guys, Leonard is an ex-Disney Imagineer, and they barely they meaning Maxon just barely did a Star Wars day on May the 4th, and they interviewed Leonard. And did you show him your amazing AT-AT? He made a really great AT-AT out of machined parts and 3D printed parts and all sorts of fun stuff. I need to watch that. I missed it. This time on the stream was great. Awesome. Got these little holes in here I need to fix. To be honest, I follow your style when I work cartoon character sculpture, and it's good. Yeah, that's all you need. Do you do your own 3D prints? Yes. What program do I use? It depends on the printer because I have two Form 2 printers, so I use the Form software to do that. It's kind of their own proprietary stuff. You can say it AT-AT or AT-AT or ATST, whatever you want to call it. I'm just a former but a retired Imagineer. Yeah. There you go. Or you just say awesome. If I use I have a Saturn, but it's still in the box. Yes, it's still in the box, Leonard. If I use a Saturn, I use Lychee slicing software. But I create the characters in here, and then I decimate them and send them over to the slicing programs, and then print them out. Yeah, if I dared move my camera, I would show you. It's just sitting on the floor. What 3D printer do I suggest? I suggest a Saturn II 8K printer. If you can, I bought it it was on sale for like $600 or something like that. It was pretty ridiculously cheap. Compared to when I worked at Disney, the printer we used there was $80,000. Yeah, the Sega Saturn. Did I say Sega? That'd be hilarious if I said Sega. I wouldn't be surprised if I did. The Sega Saturn 8K. It's the Elegoo Saturn. That's hilarious if I said. Same name. There is a Sega Saturn. You said Sega? Oh yeah, Sega. I miss those commercials. Okay, I want this curl that's happening right there to happen. He's looking into resin. Yeah, Elegoo makes some great resins because they make a plant-based one and a water-soluble one, so it's less toxic. You can clean it with water. I've bought a few of both, but I just haven't had time to use it yet. Did you make toys with printed molds? No, we had a third-party engineering company that we would send our models off to, and they would do all the keying, and then they would send it off to the factories. Lychee is great. Yep, I agree. It's super good. I know the owner of it. He used to work for Pixelogic Japan back in the day. His name is Thomas, and he started Lychee, or what is it called? I want to say is it mango.io or something? The name of the website for Lychee. The average bottle of resin gets you how many mid-size? I have no idea, Casey. It's yeah, it depends on the model, it depends on the detail, it depends on how much volume it has, if it's hollowed out, all of those things. There's too many variables to go into that. Yeah, mango. Thanks, Leonard. I remember it was some kind of fruit. You fruit. Okay. When I use remesh by union, it splits my model in two, even though I have no hidden geometry. I don't know what that means. It splits your model in two? This is a Star Wars. What's up, Ashley? How you doing? Oh, it's a trap. That's what it is. Streaming is a trap. How are you? Yeah, is your symmetry on when you remesh by union? And how many pieces do you have? Looks great, thanks. I need more volume up in the forehead, I think. It also depends on a bottle too, right? But yeah, Uncle Jesse's channel on YouTube is a fantastic 3D printing channel. I highly recommend checking it out. He talks about tons and tons of printers, a whole bunch of different kinds of things. Also, if you don't know who Ashley is, A Cubed is Ashley. She's another streamer on here. Does some amazing, amazing work. Are you still streaming on Wednesdays, or are you still kind of off and on? Yeah, thanks, Neil. If you are thinking about joining the 3D Character Workshop, I'm running a sale right now. It goes until Sunday. 25% off everything on my store, so you can check that out. You're up to 2 times a month now. Nice, nice. So how are your eyeballs doing? Or is it eyeball? Is it just a single or is it both? I hate asking about it. Because I'm just like, I just cringe. Stupid ball. Good thing you got another one. Would you use a sphere brush or a cubed brush? Badunk. You need a badunk for that one. Water washable resin tends to be super fragile. Oh, interesting. I've not used that one yet. I prefer Ceratec ABS like or fast mixed with their. Interesting. I've not heard of that one. I've yet to use it. How is their plant-based resin? Has anybody used that? Elegoo's plant-based resin? Just curious. And is it more or less toxic than the water-based stuff? Okay, so I'm going to stitch this together, and whoever was asking about remesh by union, this is exactly how I do it. So I have this piece like this. I don't necessarily want to stitch these together, but you have to just eat it. Just put some salad dressing on it and munch it. Water washable will crack as well if you don't fully cure it. Interesting. Plant-based resin, I mean, that makes sense, right? Isn't resin something that comes from trees? I think so. I'm not sure. Okay, the only stipulation here with stitching or with remeshing by union is you just want the similar density to be where the models meet each other. So see how these squares are kind of similar size to these squares? That's all you really need. Okay, and if it's not, you can just flood fill it with tessellation. So you just grab, on my user interface, tessellation is right here. But if you want to find it, it is down in geometry, tessellate, right here. This is the same slider right here. So you just basically grab this slider and roll it to the left a little bit, and it will flood fill the whole thing with, this is way too dense. Let's go higher than that. Okay, you don't want to take it too dense. Something like this would work just great. Okay, and it doesn't matter that this is peeking through. I can push it through, but it doesn't matter because I'm just going to stitch it together anyway. This looks like an alien head. But what I can do now is I like to just snap it to the front, grab my gizmo like this, turn symmetry off. Okay, turn it off. That way, when you push this button, it's going to center the gizmo in the middle of your object. If symmetry was left on and you click on this button, it's going to center the gizmo in half of your model. Okay, see how it's in half of it? So it's important you turn that off, click on this button, and then you can turn symmetry back on it at this point, and hold down Alt and click on this little circular arrow, which is reset gizmo to world space. Okay, so now it's all reset, it's centered, you're ready to stitch. Okay, now you go to this gear right here and go to remesh by union, and it will stitch it together. It'll make this bounding box with this little gear. You can check your mesh by turning on wireframe and then zooming up in on where it's stitched. You can see it. So if it's giving you grief somehow, just make sure your mesh is not masked somehow weirdly, or there's some kind of weird mesh. I don't understand why it wouldn't do that. But then you just click on this when you're done and hit accept, and it's done. And now I can hit Control W to put the whole thing in one poly group. And if I want to smooth some of this out, see how it's smoothed in the concept right across here, but the tight crease is here. So I just want to smooth out the top. What I can do is just turn on Sculptus Pro and just kind of smooth this out. That's it. Gotta make sure I turn symmetry back on. Okay. You don't have to send the gizmo to home or anything anymore. No, you just need it sent. If you're going to be remeshing symmetrically, you just need to have your gizmo in the middle of your mesh. So that way it'll do it symmetrically. Otherwise, it'll give you issues. That's it. Using plant-based resins degrade faster, which makes sense. So Leonard, have you ever tried, I can smooth this out too, get rid of this alien eyeball. Have you ever tried, my friend Brian Ballinger, he goes by Breadwig, he put cornstarch in his resin to make it more pliable, and it worked. It worked really well, in fact. So he makes these, and I don't know where he got the idea from or who he saw do it or if he came up with it on his own or what, but he prints these. They're called faulty dogs, and he needed them to be not so fragile. And I think he added some, I don't know how much or what the ratio is or anything, but he put cornstarch in his resins. And he showed it to me. He had this kind of, it was like a knife shape, and he took it and he bent it in half without it snapping. It just like went and yeah, it was very flexible. So I'm kind of curious and anxious to try that. It sounded interesting to me. It's a little bit more cornstarch. Who knew? Thickens up gravy and resin. Okay. I'll put one of these little things in there. No, it kind of snapped back. It was pretty wild. You've seen it before? Crazy. Yeah, Breadwig. Yep. They're so funny because the way he draws his characters, they're really wonky. They're pretty bizarre, but and he tries his best to 3D model them, and sometimes it makes it so it has more than two eyeballs if you look at it from any certain direction. Here, let me just see. Oh, that's not it. Bradwig. What? E-R-E-A. There we go. If I could spell. See these dogs? So this one actually has three eyeballs. So it has one here, and then one again on the other side. But look at, they're just so crazy and fun. I love them. They're so awesome. These chickens. So like this chicken dog, it would have another eyeball on the other side. They make clay with PVA mixed with cornstarch. Interesting. You seen when cornstarch and water are exposed to sound waves? I've not. It behaves like a solid. Crazy. Cornstarch is the future. Yeah, look at these things. They're funny. So hilarious. Okay. Where are we at? 1 hour and a half so far? Okay. Okay, I kind of want to blend this down. Let's do another kind of a pinch through here. Oh, that's hilarious. Cornstarch fix my marriage. Okay, you know, the pinch brush is super tricky because it doesn't play nice with its neighbors. So you can see how it's kind of stretching out these polygons. So basically what I want to do is put some more polygons here, and I think I can turn the intensity all the way down. Yep. And just flood it with density right here. So it's basically like giving myself higher resolution in just this spot. And so it won't smooth. I'm going to smooth it just a little bit though. Okay. Now pinch brush, I actually turned Sculptress Pro off of the pinch because I don't want to be adding more geometry as I pinch. And then just kind of run this down. And so for this line, it's great. But see how it's got this secondary line kind of going around and wrapping through? I want to, maybe I'll just get close, but not connect them. Like it's just another fold. I'll bring that, you know, maybe I'll start with the detail brush and then pinch it. Like that. Didn't you have your own pinch brush named Cut A? That was, yeah, I did a long time ago. And I kind of have a sad story about that. So, there was one called Ma Cut, M-A-H, and that stood for Malachus, and then his middle name and last name, but he went by, his nickname was Malachus the Black, and he ended up passing away last year. Yeah, Cut A. I met him at the ZBrush Summit one year. He's a really great guy. Yeah, I think he had liver or kidney issues. I know. Yeah, he made some really cool stuff in ZBrush. These headphones. But every time I use this pinch brush now, I think of him. This started as the Ma Cut brush. I still use Ma Cut brushes and recommend them to students. I had no idea. Yeah, this, like I said, this is essentially the Ma Cut brush. He just accidentally stumbled upon this one setting. If you rolled the slider all the way down, it would act like that. Ma brushes are so popular yet. All right, I'm gonna scoot this. Okay, and then let's get his little listen hole. He used to hang out on your stream. Yep, he would hop by. He had matte caps. I think he did have matte caps, yeah. Yeah, just like a couple months ago. See the pinch brush. Why can't you play good with your neighbors? Just want to merge these two lines into each other, but no. You gotta be selfish. No, not too much. Not too. He wasn't a young guy, but not an old guy either. I'm sorry, Ash. I didn't mean to. Didn't mean to make you sad. Yeah, not cool. Okay, let's see, where are we at now? I know, I just get bummed out. Yeah. Share core tools. I know. Justin, no, if you go inside the course, on the right-hand side is a link, depending on which one you buy. On the right-hand side, yeah, Damn Standard is named after Damien. I can't remember his last name. Damien. Anyway, yeah, he was at the ZBrush Summit a couple times too. He's a great guy. So there's a link on the right-hand side. Let me just show you. You guys want to see the inside of the 3D Character Workshop? I'll show you really quick. So this is my page, 3D Character Workshop. When you log in, this is, if you buy the bundle, you see all this stuff. Not all of it, there's some hidden. But if you go inside the workshop itself, this shows your progress. This is what it looks like. And if you go to, see, you can see right here, go to the community, that is the Discord channel. Okay. And it will assign you a role over there and you'll be good to go. Oh, thanks, Damien Kendary? I'm not sure. Damien Wayne. I think he's from France. Art by Breda. Is the original workshop just the Kate module? Yes, it is. Same. I broke them up just to be more affordable. I don't know how good of an idea that was. Or if I should have just kept them together, I don't know. More volume. Pump up the volume. Yeah, Casey, I pulled the mini bust head course out of there. That was in the course for the longest time. And I did a live stream with the character for just my students for a while. That's like 66 hours of content alone, just that. And I walk you all the way through from start to finish, all the way through to final game character that's textured inside of Substance. So just that alone is crazy. I got it. The original must be overlooking it. Leonard, I don't have plans to go yet, but I would love to go. I've missed it. I want to pinch these to clean them up. Nothing cleans things up like the Ma cut brush. Anastasia, no, there's just the add-on for now. And that does come with tutorials on how to use it. Yeah, since this is the Maxon live, I can't really talk about it. Hope you can understand. Okay. Okay, let's see. I need to put some more density down in here so I can pinch these and not run out of geometry. Okay. Speaking of can't talk about it, what can't you talk about, Ash? What? What? We got to talk about that. We need to have a conversation. That's exciting. I need to get a better iPad. That's funny. Speaking of, Mr. Throat Wrinkles. Focus hardcore on the app which shan't be named. Did you? Have you been playing with it? Well, we'll have to talk about it. Because I'm not going to lie, I'm struggling. No, in a good way. Ian's going to be so mad. What's up, Bobbles? How are you doing? You know what? This is too dense. Too dense. There we go. What's going on, Bobbles? What's new? Partakes in that which shan't be partake. You're gonna get me in trouble. It's not. Well, okay. I'm not. I can't say anything. Can't say anything. Get myself in trouble. All I was gonna say is it's a mobile experience. I could say that, right? McBobbles, I don't think it's the one you're thinking of. It doesn't start with a B. Okay. So we are going to mirror and weld this and auto group it. And then mirror and weld it. I did it out of order. There we go. ZBrush in a van on a laptop by the river. Yeah, we have a drinking game on 3D Character Workshop. Every time I mention that mobile app, yeah, it's like a swearing bingo or whatever. Oh, come on, come on. There we go. You can do it. Okay, I keep meaning to make this little ear hole, but keep getting sidetracked. The life of an artist. You just see things and you have to fix them. I'm still trying to decide whether I want to record my hands or not. That's my current dilemma. Because if I record my hands on a phone while using said thing, it does look like a parrot, then you don't see the full resolution of the app. But you see my hands. You see what I'm doing, what I'm pointing at. There is a solution coming in the next release, but even then I wonder if I should still show my hands. Like I had that bare hand on here for a while just to kind of show people what my hand was doing. And that's all people could talk about. You accidentally mentioned another side. So, Leonard, I have a story about that. When I did the live presentation with Matt Thorup at ZBrush Summit on stage in front of live audience, whatever, I mentioned one of their competitors. That was not fun. I don't think it. I think they cut it out of the YouTube version final release. Because somebody asked me what I used to do retopology. I'm like an idiot. I'm like, I do it here. What is that polygon size slider, and where do you find it on the UI? The polygon. Oh, are you talking about this right here? This is Tessimate, and you find it in the geometry menu over here, right here, Tessimate, and it's right here, polygon size. And it's essentially just flood filling your model with dynamic topology. That's all it is. Yeah, they're gonna take me outside and flood fill me. Oh, that sounds horrible. I talked about engineering software. Oh yeah, yeah, like yeah. It's not Forger. That's why I can't talk about it. If it was Forger, I could talk about it because this is Maxon's official live channel. But it's not. That being said, Forger does have ZRemesher in it now, which is kind of crazy cool. ZRemeshing on your mobile app. Right, ear hole. Yeah, yeah. I heard it's not too stable, but it's getting better. I mean, it's great that it's there because then you can, if you just happen to be using another app and you want to ZRemesh, you could just pull it over there and do the thing and bring it back. I made that too big. All right, Arkham, thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I need to get one of those. I'm trying to save up to get with a new M chip in it, and I'm trying to decide if I want to hold out for the M3 or just go for like an M1 or an M2. Something I wanted to screech about. This is stability, especially in hole punching. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. We should talk. We should talk. I got some things that'll blow your mind. When you watch it, some people noticed I paused before answering questions. It's because I didn't want to say something wrong. You just like look at Ian and Paul. Just like, is this okay to say? You can cut this out. Like it's gonna be a swear word or something. Leonard the potty mouth. Out of control. Like a loose cannon. Yeah, Ashley, it's I use a completely, not a completely, the blocking out is the same, but after that, completely different workflow. Still definitely using ZBrush. Yes. Yeah. ZBrush will be my first love, but no, yeah, I almost said it. The other thing is it's mobile. It's mobile, and it's crazy. I did a full character while waiting for my daughter to finish what she was doing. In the car, just sitting there with my iPad up against my steering wheel. eNorth, you don't need it. I'm here to tell you, you don't need it. You don't. Everybody's asking for poly tools and all this other stuff. Like, you don't need it. That's old. It's old. Old school pipeline. I was telling Glenn Southern, you don't need polygon modeling, you old man. He was laughing. Glenn's a good guy. I had these little holes in this and I can't find them. Like these little bugger holes. See what happens if I hit close holes and then auto groups, mirror and weld, clean that up. There we go. I think that did it. These look like rubber Cheerios. If you know what rubber Cheerios are. Again, I was raised in a small town. There were a lot of sheep in the town. And rubber Cheerios are used on sheep. Shall not be named. It looks cool, but I'm not sure I could do hard surface. Oh, you can. You can, Leonard. Chicken cereal? No, they're like... And you don't want sheep to have any more sheep. You put rubber Cheerios. Yeah, I don't know why I brought that up, but I apologize. Yeah, not the most humane thing ever. Well, I don't know. Okay. It's not the best ear thing. I want to kind of pull that out and add some volume to it. Underneath there instead. I'm kind of having a weird stream today, Ashley. What's going on? What are these conversations? No. It's not your fault. I'm just like, conversations. Going weird places. For sheeps. It's acting like it has vacuum curve on it, but it doesn't. She brought over the conversation we normally have in her streams. Yeah, I've hung out there before. It can get spicy. Do you still stream on your own, Ashley? Do you do much of that? Because I've been thinking about doing that for That Shall Not Be Named. Yeah. At least there's no like hot irons involved in that portion of things. It's a trap. That's what I should tell people when they want to watch my stream, is it's a trap. All right, I'm almost done with this. I'm going to give him a little eye. Little pupil. I haven't streamed on my channel for a while. How is it? Do you get similar viewership? Do you feel like it's worth it? I don't want Sculptors Pro on. Okay. Oh man. Actually doing my sculpting in that Android tablet in bed while listening and watching to this. Yeah, right. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna fill this with a material and I think we'll be done. I want to go through and add some gradient tones to all this flesh so he's not just like one single tone. He needs more volume back here by a lot. Made a whole 8-inch entire figure. Awesome, that's great. Okay. Material, toy shade. Toy, where are you? Soy plastic. There we go. And material, fill objects, skin shade 4. Now we have shiny eyes. I'm just gonna grab this color and put a tiny bit of gradient. Come on, grab it. There we go. Come on, you know you want to grab it. There we go. Gradients make all the difference. And then maybe with these eyes. There. Okay, it's funny. I just want to take this, maybe with elastic, move elastic. Grab it. Let's crank the intensity down. If you want to just stretch some mesh, your mesh, elastic is a great way to go. Especially when you have like hair or tentacles or a tube or something like that. Move elastic works quite well. All right, party people. Size are a little too big, but I think we're gonna be done with Admiral Akbar for a minute. Put it in perspective. Okay. Let's kind of park this. Sometimes it's kind of difficult to get the camera to look the way you want it to look. There, something like that. You did done good. Thanks. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. One last time, I am doing a spring sale right now. 25% off everything in the 3D Character Workshop store. The sale ends Sunday, the 14th. So grab it while it's hot. And if you get the full bundle, you get access, you qualify for the Maxon 1 educational bundle, which comes with every piece of software Maxon has. So, and it's like $10 for 6 months as of the time of this recording anyway. So if you get the full bundle, that's, yeah, you also get, and that's almost the price of the subscription anyway. So, yeah, so and you get all the things. So if you go check out that bundle, you'll see the value there. It's everything's in there that you need in order to become a game character artist or collectibles artist, whichever you want, whichever path, or even a hobbyist if that's what you want to do. So, all right, everybody, thank you and take care. We will catch you all next Monday. All right, thanks, Neil. Thanks for dropping by, Ashley. See you later, everyone. See you, Leonard. Take care. Bye, Mark. I feel like a romper room. Bye-bye. We'll see you.